You've landed on a no sight, no problem YouTube channel. As always, thank you for your continued support. Today I'm going to show you how to change the fluids on a 2020 Polaris RZR Highlifter 1000. So we're going to change the rear diff fluid, the oil and filter, and the front diff fluid. This happens to be my personal buggy, not a customer for once. So without further ado, let's get right to it. So if you look down here, you've got your oil drain plug, which is right there. And then a little further back toward the back of the buggy, this is the drain plug for your transmission, which is right there.
Have your hand, please, so I can show them where it's at.
And I believe that is a 6 or 7 millimeter Allen. I will confirm in a minute. But without further ado, let's get the oil draining on this thing. Maybe. I like my new nickname. They call me the Savage now. Kind of like it.
Who calls you that?
I just came up with it today.
Oh, so it's a self-made name.
It ought to be. It ought to be.
Savage Steve, huh?
Something. So we'll just pull the drain plug out like this. And there she goes.
There she goes.
Pretty.
Mm-hmm. Pretty clean.
Yeah, I try to stay up on it. I ride pretty hard. I'm not as abusive as most people are to their machines, but I definitely not nice to it either. She gets well used. Kind of like my ex-wife. Oh wait, I meant, hold on a minute. I did not really mean that.
Mm-hmm. So while this is draining, when you refill, like how much oil goes back in?
Till it's full. Duh. 2.5 quarts.
2.5 quarts.
Yep, I don't fill it up. I'm using Polaris oil. With that being said, if I don't have Polaris, I do like the AMS oil products as well. Not to mention, I'm a dealer, so I keep most of that on hand. And it's very important to let your machine run till it gets up to operating temperature before you drain the oil. Also, when it is draining, take a look at it. Make sure it doesn't look milkshaky or unusual colors. I forget what the manual says, but I change all of my fluids and filters like every 3rd ride. Whether it needs it or not, it just gets done. Some people say that's obsessive, but that's okay. Preventative maintenance goes a long, long ways. There's also a washer on the drain plug. You want to make sure you don't lose that. If you're smart, you'd probably keep a couple of them, keep a couple extra laying around in your toolbox or whatever. See, truth of the story is, the reason I keep Pam around is not only is she a great cook, and she puts up with my crap, but she'll wash my buggy and my 4-wheeler and my trailer. So gentlemen, when you get a lady like that, you got to keep her. Trust me. Because we probably go in places that
You really shouldn't.
Yeah, shh, don't tell my secrets, Pam. Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. That's nice and tight. So now the oil is drained out. So put your drain plug in. I don't remember what the torque spec is, but just put it in tight. 1 ug and the torque elbow ought to do it. So now we will move on to the transmission. Okay, and that is a Allen head. So we'll switch that over real quick. I like to drain everything, get all my filters off, and then kind of fill everything at once. That's just how I roll.
Okay.
Come on. Oh, yummy.
Ooh. Oh, pretty, pretty, pretty.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How dark was it? What color was
dark purple like.
it? Yeah, well, the purple's the normal color. The drain plug on the transmission is magnetic, so you always want to check for any debris. I was very lucky on this one. We have no funky transmission debris. Usually it would be caused by a reverse chain. All right, so we'll put the plug right back in here now.
Does that have a washer too?
Nope. You would think it would, but it does not. Okay, here comes the UGG. Ready for you guys asking torque specs? Ready? UGG. There. That's all you need.
Is it like Tim the Tool Man?
That's right. No, that's... All right, so we'll go to the front and we will drain the front diff now. All right, so then you got to get to your oil filter, you got to take this cover off. So what I did is, this has a zip tie here and here, because we've lost this several times going in almost neck deep water, and the ponds are not forgiving. When they want it, they're taking it. And that's my third one I bought, actually. So I was like, well, I'm not going to do that anymore.
So you can see back there the oil filter. You got a light on it so they can see it, and let them know that you're taking that off, and then I'll show them.
How come I can't see it? That's messed up.
Well, you did tell me that you could see, and then I started dating you, and then you told me you were blind.
Oh, is that what it is? Let's see. There we go. I like that. Oh.
Can we put it on there too tight?
I think sometimes there's a gremlin that comes in here when we're not around.
And tightens things?
I think so.
Maybe it's the heat. Makes it expand.
There. If you wanna... I don't know if I want to stop recording, take that. I don't know what you want to do.
Okay, I will take it.
All right.
Do you want to tell them what Wix filter that it is?
Yeah, if you want to tell the part number, I don't remember off the top of my head.
51356.
Look at you go, girl. You guys didn't see me do it, but what I always do is put a little oil around the seal of the filter so it seals good. Of course, it's starting to rain, don't you know? But it's Florida.
Of course.
You know, you gotta expect it.
It's either gonna last like a half an hour or
all night.
All night or 15 minutes. Oh wait, 5 seconds.
There we go. That's nice and tight.
And then I can show that it's back in there in its spot. All good.
Yep. I will come back a little bit later and clean that up with some brake clean. All right, so we are going to fill the front differential first. Again, it's approximately 8 ounces. So what you do is you pull the plug out of the side of the case and you put the flexible funnel in there, I guess is what I call it.
A funnel? Like a fitna?
Something like that. And you just fill that until it just starts to come out, and then you put the fill plug back in.
This is actually called a hyper tough transmission spout is what we're using. Well, it still has a tag on it, so I thought I'd let them know what, what it's actually called. And
the drain plug is right there if you want to show that to them.
All right, down in there where his little finger was.
Right there, and I will put the Allen head in here to show you folks. There we go.
I feel like a dental hygienist with a flashlight so they can see in the camera like I've got tools.
And with a hole, and people like a gynecologist.
I'm not playing with a hole. You're playing with a hole. I'm just holding the tools.
Look, I never said this channel was rated PG, folks, okay?
You know, like when they use the suction in the mouth to get all the nasty shit. When, I mean, like like when they get the funnel in your hand or the, wait.
Whatever.
No.
Guys, just give it to me.
There's the funnel.
See what I gotta put up with, y'all? Hope somebody takes pity on me.
Take pity on me.
I need rescuing like a dog.
Oh, please.
Let me see this stuff.
Okay, this is a brand new, so it's got the foil on the top still.
Some assistant she used. She didn't
Well,
take
I'm
stuff
trying.
off.
I'm
Golly.
trying to hold the flashlight on Steve, you know, shining the light on you before the storm comes in. You can hear it in the background. I bet that's going to be pretty cool.
Good help is so hard to find, guys.
I think he was just bragging about me a little bit ago.
I lied. So
Just like a man changed his mind again.
we'll put this in that hole just like that.
Well, it might be just dripping from when you pull out the hose.
I can't get my finger in there. I want to see it come out of that hole is what I want to see.
Okay, then.
You lie it down in there?
I do, but it's just it's in an awkward position, so sometimes it's really hard to see. I mean, you know, can't you relate? Can't see it. And I'm watching, but right there, I think is, yep, it's coming back out.
Right.
It's spitting back out at us. You can see it coming out of the hole.
Yep, I guess it's full.
Well, I guess it's better full than not full.
Yes.
Or over full than not full at all, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you can see down in there, that hole down there. And we'll get brake clean later and spray it and get it all cleaned up. Because, yep, he loves his brake clean.
No, I don't. Nothing worse than a sloppy mechanic. I'm not into that whatsoever. Okay. There, that's full.
And what size was that
I
again?
believe that was a 7mm Allen, I believe.
It is an 8.
Oh, I lied. 8.
It's an 8mm Allen.
And you use that on the front diff and the transmission. So now we're going to go put some oil in the engine, and then we will fill the transmission. So to put oil in it, I'm going to take my lock and ride box out, which I unbolted already. My Rhino lips, my Rhino whips, and all my rocks, lights, and halos. What a good company. So to put oil in, you take this inspection cover off. There's a latch. Just lift it up, put it out like that. So down in here is your oil filter cover right there. Just unscrew that bad boy. So I have exactly 2.5 quarts here. So we'll just go ahead and
Hurry up and fill it before it starts raining.
Yeah, right.
Because we don't want any water in there. And it's a big funnel.
This actually is a radiator funnel, but it worked really good, especially when you can't see. You're not going to miss the hole. And for you new subscribers, yes, I am a completely blind mechanic.
2.5 quarts of PS4 from Polaris.
It should be FP4 for first place. Just saying. I figured you Can-Am and Honda guys would get a kick out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I like all the machines. They're all good, and they all have their issues. When you get into this level of a machine, it honestly comes down to personal preference and what you're going to do with the machine. And I encourage anybody who's thinking about getting into the side-by-side game, before you go out and just spend $20,000, $30,000 on a machine and start throwing a bunch of upgrades at it, figure out what kind of riding you're going to do and really be honest with yourself. Don't worry about what your buddies are doing to be cool. Don't worry about showing off who's got more money. honestly figure out what kind of riding you are going to enjoy the most. Take that decision and use that to base what machine you want to purchase, because they're all very different. And I'm not going to get here and have a big debate about turbos versus non, and Honda versus Can-Am, you know, Polaris versus Honda, etc, 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 because like I said, they're all good and they all have issues. So there we go. There's that. She is full with 2.5 quarts of oil. Let's go in and pull the dipstick and double check it. And I will show you guys how to check your air filter, since I'm right here, and I think I can beat that real quick before it starts pouring.
Oh, he thinks he can.
I'm Steve.
Because you're Steve.
Yeah.
It's gonna be difficult.
I'm always difficult.
So the dipstick is in by the oil filter?
The dipstick is toward the front of the machine on the passenger side, just underneath the header and the coolant lines. So you flip the cap up like that.
Yeah, and we can't see in there.
Let's pull this dipstick
he thinks
out.
because we can see everything.
Oh yeah.
But sometimes it's blind spots for us too.
Whatever.
We can see more than you, but sometimes we have a hard time seeing as well.
I think y'all got a bunch of excuses. Put the stick in here. There we go. Pull it out. How does that look?
Nice and clean and full.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome, awesome. So, and again, when you put the dipstick back in, don't force it. It'll go in. And once you get it all the way in, make sure you flip the top all the way over so it locks in that tire.
Oh, they can see.
But this is your air box right here, air box cover. So you've got tabs. You got one right here. Roll it over. One there. One there. One there. One there. And one there at the bottom.
6 tabs total.
And then this will just come out nice and easy. Like so. Then your air filter just sits in this box. Grab a hold of it like so. This should look brand new.
It does.
So I just did this. I said when I did the plugs. Like I said, I check my air filter and plugs at the end of every single weekend of riding. So I check the filter. If it needs to be cleaned, I clean it. If it needs replacing, I replace it. And I always check the spark plugs at the end of every event as well. What you want to look for when you pull the plugs, they want to be a nice cocoa brown. That's the perfect thing you want to look for, especially if you like me and you've got bigger injectors and cams and tunes and that kind of thing. That will tell you a lot about what your motor is doing. And again, I do that at the end of every weekend, and I change my fluids every 3rd ride and check my fuel pressure about every 4th to 5th ride.
He's a little OCD.
Yeah, so far though I've been lucky. Preventative maintenance
Has paid off.
goes a long ways. It's kind of like smoke testing. I cannot stress. You want to make sure this is all clean. There's no sand in there.
There's a little bit of sand in there actually. So if you wanted to shake it out, do the blow test.
There's nothing in the, nothing that's gonna matter. That might just be taken
no,
out.
it's just a little bit.
Nothing in the air box.
No, there's nothing.
So we'll put this cover back on. Get the tabs up and out of the way. There we go. Come on, Betsy. There we go. Just like that. There. So put this here. That's 1, 2, 3. Maybe. There we go. Locked in nice and tight. You don't want this if you're like me, you submerge your machine completely underwater. You want to make sure that stuff's all tight, and that's how they put the air cover back on. Always double check, make sure the oil cap is on and tight. Make sure the plug wires are down all the way. Sweet. We'll grab this inspection cover.
Oh, here it comes.
Nice, that wind. We're just getting there.
The wind just started picking up. It's like, okay.
Sorry guys, I'm just trying to make this a little quick here. That's how you put the inspection cover back on. Put this. Lock it right, it's kind of in place. I'll put the bolts in a minute. All right, so now we're gonna fill the tranny. And that plug is right. Get that in there all the way right there. See, that just proved I'm blind. I almost had my hand in the wrong hole. No wonder Pam's always mad at me.
Oh,
the channel for the faint-hearted. Alright, so. No, this always makes Pam mental, but we definitely have the correct fluid here, right?
AMSRACINGOIL, ATV, UTV, transmission and differential fluid.
Perfect. This takes about
44 ounces.
Yeah. So a quart and a half basically, but same concept. You just kind of start filling the fill hole until you see it come out, and you are good. I may have to get that funnel too though, actually, because that's pretty. Yep, I'm gonna have to have that. Okay. All right, because of my rear bumper, I have to have just a little bit more than what this bag offers. So we're gonna come down here and put this. I'm in the hole, man.
Took you long enough.
I know. So it's a two-person job for the moment. It's an
upgraded bumper that's in the way.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I think we have enough, folks. When it's spewing out back at you, you got enough. Neither rain nor sleet. No.
Hey, well, there's a job to do. Just not used to working outside, so that's okay. We got the job done.
All right.
All right, so you now know how to change the transmission fluid, the oil, and the front diff fluid. And you know how to check and replace the air filter on your 2020 Polaris RZR Highlifter 1000. So don't ever be afraid to reach out. Hope you learned something from this video, and I'm getting the hell out of here because it's gonna rain. So until next time, we'll freaking see you later.